get the pig squeals going. Whoa, moose! Yeah, it's off there.
Yeah, very soft there.
Welcome back, everyone. This week we're at Mattawa. I'm here with Derek, Steve, Lucas, and Aaron. Those are the people in my camp anyway, my little lodge thing, and this was like set up by Hans, so big shout out to Hans and people who run the Mattawa Adventure Camp, and we're in the VMUTS system, so yeah, some fun hill climbs, did them both days, so that's how much fun they are, and right now we're following Mike. Now he's taken us out on his like favorite route, although there was a storm recently and a lot of the trails were closed, but it seems like all the hard trails were mostly open. There was like one that we couldn't really get access to, but yeah, so this is like an ATV, predominantly an ATV area, so the trails are a lot wider. They're not like single track or anything like that, but there's like a lot of like rocks and bumps and deep water. Which you'll see later. Oh god, deep water. And yeah, like some good hill climbs, like the Canadian Shield, lots of rock. Yeah, it's very, very bumpy. It's a different type of terrain than I'm normally used to. It's quite sandy on the first day. This year was very, very dry.
Couldn't see them, so
this is Mike.
You know.
So yeah, it was very, very dry on the first day. Last year, apparently, it was extremely wet running up to the event. So there's quite a bit of a difference between last year and this year, where this year it's actually extremely dry. So a lot of the trails were very dry, and there wasn't very many deep water crossings until we went to Trail 34 on the second day when it was in the rain. But right now it was good. Keeping good pace with Mike, but I'm gonna try and make it a little bit more interesting for myself, a little bit more challenging by like hitting the rocky parts of the trail. Still need to ride the nice parts. They give you so much food at the camp, like really good, delicious food, and in extreme abundance. So you know, like I felt like I had infinite energy because I ate so much for breakfast, just like, you know, like 6 sausages, a ton of bacon, tons of potatoes, eggs, orange juice, apple juice, you know, you just go, wow, it's just so much to eat. It's so good. So yeah, this week this was booked a long time ago. They're very, very proactive in the group about getting this booked in and making sure it's all good. And last year I was like, Lucas and Derek and Pico were back, and they were like, oh, it's such a good time, we've come many years, it's amazing, come. So you have to sign up a year in advance, and obviously this time last year my baby boy had only just been born, so I was like, I don't know if I should go, and Lily, my wife, was like, you should do it. And so yeah, it was really good that the time has actually come around, and she was still like, yeah, go for it. Best wife in the world, you know. And it's like the first time. Here's some of the trees. This is what it looks like in some places, just like the trees. This looks like a tornado came through here because it was so like localized, and they're all like twisted in this weird way.
What the storm did, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like actually seeing this, it's just the amount of damage is absolutely crazy. But anyway, yeah, like so obviously this is the first time in like 15 months I managed to actually get some sleep, and you know, like I was like, whoa, I get to set my alarm later. What's happening here? So yeah, it was good. It's good. Like the first day, we ended up splitting away from Mike. He had a little bit of an off and did some damage to his bike and wasn't able to continue, unfortunately. And we didn't see him again later in the day, which was a bit of a shame. I mean, I didn't expect for him to be able to come and find us, which is, you know, it's not a surprise. This system is absolutely massive and goes on for miles and miles. But he gave us directions. We tried to follow them, but we did have a few things happen to that day. So yeah, we saw a moose. That was fucking cool. Saw a pig as well, and a dragonfly.
Oh, you got a massive dragonfly on your helmet as well.
Yeah, dragonfly
is just here trying to
unfortunately, dragonfly couldn't get off. He was kind of stuck. So, well, rip. Anyway, yeah, there was a few mishaps the first day. Like obviously, Mike had his damaged his bike. Luckily, I think his person's was fine, but I didn't get to see him again. I had to look around for him, couldn't find him, and I think so that I wasn't able to like double check on that. And then one of the other fellas we were riding with, the tail of his bike fell off. It snapped off. It bounced too much and then got sucked into the wheel or something like that. And it was unrepairable, so they had to take it off and wear it as a backpack. I fucked that up. I thought I was too focused on what Lucas was doing, so when he went left, I wasn't paying attention, and I went right, and then the next thing I know, I just fall over and do a silly little roll. But this trail 93 was so much fun. That pivot turn was not perfect. I may have fucked up like one attempt before I actually managed to do it, and then get myself going again. This was really, really good fun. The next day, we came back through, did it again. I've got footage from that for the second day. This is still day one because you can see the sunshine. So yeah, I skipped it on the first day, and then on the second day I hit it like directly, much more enthusiastically, making it even harder in the rain. So yeah. Oh, it's good fun. Some interesting rock. It really reminds me of Ass Kicker and Relentless. Like they have some pretty steep climbs, but they don't go for as long in Ass Kicker and Relentless. They're just there. And then later on, I find this. Oh my god, I'm just dropping it everywhere. We unfortunately did get a little bit lost, and then we weren't able to make it to the gas stop. And at this point, I was like a little bit frustrated because I was like, "Ah, man, I'm running out of time to get the gas stop. I gotta make it to the gas stop." But then I saw this bag on the floor, and I'm like, I can't just leave that because, it's dropping it everywhere. I'm like, I can't just leave that. The bag was shredded. May or may not have been my fault. But I mean, actually, well, the straps were already damaged. So when I was trying to attach it to my bike, it would just fall off, and then eventually it may or may not have got sucked into my wheel, and that completely killed it. But I mean, it was already pretty bad before. But yeah, so put it all in my bike, and get going again. I didn't make it to the first stop. We were like a minute late, so we had to call our day there. And then on the first day, I was like really shocked.
Get the pig squeals going.
Hey, it's the piggy. Yeah, pig squeals.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Guttural pig squeals and
wild boar. That's cool.
That gives you the good music. But yeah, anyway, so the first day we didn't make it to the gas stop, and I was like, oh my god, I was panicking because I put my danger water in the fiery stuff. We'll just do this little help back here. It's good fun. Even easier if they're wet. just full set. Wide open. I don't know if that was third or fourth gear as one of them. I think it was third. But yeah, we didn't make it to the gas stop. So I was like panicking because, my bike usually runs out of fuel about 80 kilometers. And that day I was like 89.9 kilometers when we got to where the gas was supposed to be, and I was like, shit, there's no gas stop. The gas has already left. Oh yeah, because it was raining so hard. I couldn't see through my goggles, and it was also kind of dark, and my goggles are tinted, so that was a terrible choice. So we're using safety squids, and the safety squids are mediocre. So yeah, it didn't get fuel. So then when we were riding back, I was like, oh my god, I was just staring at the speedometer, the odometer, telling me more and more miles, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like 120, 130. I think it was not 120, 130. 110, 120. And I'm like, I've never seen the bike do this much distance before. But I think it was just because the first day was a little bit more high geared and less like gooning and clowning around like this. So the fuel lasted a lot longer. Second day, fuel ran out exactly at 90 kilometers, and that's after I used the fiery water. So I was a lot happier with this climb. Like the first day, I kind of just messed around, and then the second day I was more precise with what I wanted to do. Just like hit the harder line that I could, make it more complex. Fun. Find the holes, find the rocks, jump the gap. Yeah, feels good. yeah, second day, also the same situation. We just didn't have like enough fuel to keep going relentlessly, but it's okay, you know, like we did 120k each day. It's a little bit faster paced, so it's not the same as like doing just pure single trail. Yeah, I mean, I would reckon it was probably about a good on you, Dale. Did it as well. Bit of peer pressure. I would say it's like a similar sort of feeling to doing like 60k of single trail. It's like the 120k of this stuff. It was good views, really beautiful views, and you can see may or may not be raining a little bit. The grip was really, really good though. It wasn't like super slimy or anything. The like the sand and dirt felt like hero dirt. It was great. The first day there was quite a lot of dust, and that was making it difficult to see in the boot room. So I dread to think what the 40 back route was like. Ridiculous. We spent about like 15-20 minutes walking this to try and find a good path through it, and there was like a big group of ATV guys watching us as well. You can see them up on the hill over there.
That's Surprise Rock.
Oh, found the surprise rock. We found where all the surprise rocks were and made sure that we wouldn't ride into them. God damn. Dale's front wheel is completely underwater at one point there. And you can just about see, like, the water is up over the end of his pipe, but because obviously he was, like, throttling on, it was pushing it out. Oh, and it's giving the bike a nice wash as well.
You're good from there. Go on, just don't fall over, but...
Looking away. I don't want to... I'm getting roosted by water.
Thank you. Have a good day.
It's another deep water crossing. But not as bad. That culvert one was the worst one by far. However... Uh-oh.
Whoa.
It's a good job he fell that way and not the other way.
Where's like false stepping on a rock? Your photo, right? Yeah.
I puke-rated phone anyway. Dale. Yeah. Probably didn't help I was stood exactly where he needed to come out. Yeah, that's it. Wring out the water. Yeah, it's in the rain, but let's just wring it out here. Alright, and then we got to this bit, and then they were like, let's go down it. And then they psyched me out for a little bit, and then I decided, we'll go down it anyway. I think they went the sensible way down. This is pretty bumpy. Quite a lot of rocks down here. I kind of pussied out on the way down. I kind of went down the side and skipped most of the rocks, the gnarly rocks down the middle. But then I was like, I reckon I can get back up it. And I did it a little bit more seriously on the way up. Like I actually went across the rocks, not just skip them all as I want to. As I did on the way down. So, you know, cross over them a little bit, actually use them. Hey, it even looks steep in the GoPro, which actually kind of makes me feel even better. Got to this part, and I was like, you gotta do a wheelie here? Yeah, nice, does it. And then a Tacoma drives by, I'm like, what the fuck? Actually, I saw him earlier, and then I didn't realize how crazy it gets down this next section that he went down there. I was like, is he gonna go, or is he like giving up? I'm not really sure, but he waved me past. Then we basically made it to the lookout, and had some oranges there, had a look around at the lookout, shocking I know, and started making our way down the extreme route. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. Wouldn't want to take a Jeep down here. Well, I wouldn't know how to take a Jeep down here is probably what I actually meant to say there. But it was doable on the bike, but it was pretty churned up in places. If you look at this, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? It's just like really wet mud. It kind of reminds me of like some of the races, like where it's just absolute shit show. Ooh, almost fell over. You know me, I'd never crash once. It's good though, it was really good terrain. It's pretty tiring, but it was definitely doable. It also helps me. I have to like learn what the scale of like, you know, ATV
You good?
versus dirt bike is. I think like some of the extreme ATV stuff is like, oh, the water is super ridiculously deep.
Proverbial step, and I'm like,
Whilst for the dirt bike, it's like, yeah, well, okay, that's just impassable. But then, like, you know, the terrain isn't.
When in doubt, gas out, man.
The terrain isn't so bad.
Yeah, it's off there.
So there was this one bit, like just at the end, where we're like, "Where's Dale?" I bet he went the wrong way and got stuck in one of those puddles. And like, we turned around and came back, and like 30 seconds later, he's just stuck in the mud.
Just like 1 foot to the left, right? I'm gonna film this.
It took us a while. There was a lot of grunting.
No, it's all right. We don't need to see the struggle in the middle. Just
all the grunting and
it's pretty homoerotic.
yeah, that's his other channel.
Yeah.
You don't want to know about my other channel. But yeah, so it was an absolutely fantastic weekend. Just shitload of fun on the rocks. Good to meet lots of new people. So many nice people I met this weekend. And it was really good to get out on this type of terrain. I don't get to really ride this stuff that much. But yeah, so big shout out again to Hans. Thank you very much for organising this weekend. And I think that's probably it for this week. See you.